I was sitting there with a bunch of guys that were at the bar with us, double barreling margaritas, being like, "This is for all the coin. This is for all the coin." And I'm like filming it. I like put the margaritas down, almost like dropped one. I'm like filming it, like one eye closed, like trying to make sure I have like a good, like whatever. Bucketed the field goal, dude. I was going nuts. Welcome back to another episode of TFM Bets. It's been a little bit of a minute. We went to the college football playoff. Trent, how are we doing?
I'm glad to be home, to say the least. Really glad to be back in the office. So pumped, dude. It was a brutal week, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, LA is not a place I like spending a lot of time. It was a great weekend. The game was kind of brutal, but happy to be back for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm from California, and I haven't been to LA in probably 2 years. That was my first time, and I don't care for it still. I never really did.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I have to be honest with you.
Because we interned there together. That's how we met at the NFL Network. We were working in LA every single day for like 4 months.
Just bonding.
And you lived there too, right?
Yep, I lived there for a little bit.
Did you miss it at all?
Dude, not even a little bit. Dude, we literally got off the plane and it was Chelly's first time in LA, and he was like, "Yo, this is my first time in LA." And I was just like trying to not be like the worst person ever. And I was like, "Oh, dude, that's like awesome." In the back of my head, I stepped off like the plane into LAX that I haven't been in months. And I was just like, "Dude, I want to go home."
I mean, we'll get to the game. I know the game happened and it was atrocious.
Oh, it happened.
We'll get there. But let's talk about real quick just the process of getting there. You went to Minnesota. You stopped in Minnesota.
Yeah, we took
the stupidest routes. I was a victim of it too.
It was called like Minnesota. Yeah, we were like Yachty in Minnesota, dude. It made no sense. We literally like, I didn't give a lick of attention to this trip until the day we were traveling. And I was like, "So what's the deal?" And Nick was like, "Yes, we fly to Minneapolis, Minnesota, and then we fly to LA." And I was like, "What?"
It's just the complete
Yeah,
opposite.
what are we doing in Minnesota? And we got off the plane in Minnesota, and I like looked at Chelly, and we were walking through the airport, and again, I was like, "What the fuck are we doing in Minnesota, dude?" Like,
That's brutal.
Sense.
I had to fly from DFW to Seattle, which was 4 hours, and then from Seattle to LA, which was another 4 hours.
Yeah, it was almost like, let's just make this the most confusing as possible trip, not make it convenient for anybody.
So brutal.
We'll just hit every area of the United States and then go to California and then hit every area on our way back.
And then after all of that travel, we arrive in LA and we get to our Airbnb, which we didn't plan accordingly too well. We just wanted something affordable, close to SoFi, that, you know, is going to be easy for us to be a little HQ for the weekend. I roll up first. I get there before anybody else. And the Uber's like dropping us off, and I'm like looking around. I hear fucking ice cream trucks. I'm like, dude, where the fuck are we, man?
Yeah.
And I see like the little pull-off sign. It literally says Compton, bro. We're in fucking dead center Compton, and we pull up to this house, and I'm looking around the neighborhood. I'm like, dude, we shouldn't be here, bro. We should not be here. And I know when the rest of the gang gets here, they're not going to be fucking happy, bro.
Well, you also have to say that you guys were there first. You tried to DoorDash waters, got stolen immediately. So, like, it didn't start well. And, you know, when I lived in LA, I lived right in Hollywood. So right around, like, right in LA. So I, like, knew the areas outside, whatever. I didn't give any attention to where we were staying either.
Yeah.
So it was like, my first time seeing the Airbnb in the area was when we got there, and I was like, this area does not seem great. And I zoomed my map out because it was zoomed in. I zoomed my map out and I saw Compton, and then I literally a little bit more of Bench, Inglewood. Like, we couldn't have been in a worse area. And there are not many states where, like, the bad areas, you'd be like, yo, like, maybe like stay away from that area. California's number one.
Yeah.
And of course there's like, I was like looking at the map and I was like, oh, like Athens Park, one of the most famous like blood neighborhoods of all time. So we were just like, okay, we have to go to a TCU game and we're in the heart of Compton. The waters got stolen. There's 30 beds in 4 rooms. There's the front door was all glass, so you could just see into the house, which was also like not cool.
Very
but
sus.
you know, it was a tough start.
So we knew right off the bat we ain't staying here. We can't stay here. So we slept there one night because we had no choice, and we packed up our shit and we went to a hotel close to the stadium and made an audible, which was a very much needed.
It was a great audible.
Great audible.
Free breakfast at the Holiday Inn Express. Shout out you guys.
Yeah.
They had their eggs in a cirque. Cirque eggs.
They were throwing them eggs in a cirque. They were circle fucking little patty of eggs, dude.
The chef was in the back. Throw them eggs in a cirque. Throw them eggs in a cirque. No, but it was a weird start. Going from Minnesota, you going to Seattle, then pulling up to Compton, being like, okay, if there's any group that's going to get robbed, it's this group.
We got out of it. We were safe. Everybody was fine.
Yeah, we were good. Shout out Compton. You treated us well for one night.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
But then we get to the fucking game. First of all, actually, the day before the game, Sunday, NFL sweating it out. We had a little meetup event, which was a great time. We got to meet a lot of you guys who, listen to our content, watch our content.
Yeah, shout out Prize Picks. It was a great time.
Shout out Prize Picks, of course, for throwing the event. It was awesome. Except the fucking Packers selling everybody at the bar's last leg of their parlay, bro.
Dude,
great day of sweating. Last game of the night, and it just didn't go our way.
Dude, and let's start with a couple things. First of all, I don't think I've hit a parlay I've posted on social media in 2 months. And especially not in the NFL. And I don't, there's no running from that. You can't run from that. Especially not in the NFL. I can't put together a straight bet in the NFL, let alone a parlay. I woke up that morning and I was like, you know what? This 4-teamer is literally going to take me to the promised land. Like, I feel it. Like, I'm going to post it. I'm going to get behind it.
What was it?
And it was the Bills minus 7.5.
Free.
Off the DeMar Hamlin news.
Mm-hmm.
You can't bet against that. Mm-hmm. If you were betting against that, like, you're a bad person.
Yeah, figure it out.
It was
There were dudes at the bar with Patriots plus 7.5. I'm like, what are you doing?
I literally looked one kid right in the eyes and I was like, you are an awful person. like, you are an awful. There's a way to make money and then there's being an awful person. Yeah. It was the Bills minus 7.5. I think it was the Chiefs minus 10.5.
I knew they'd cover that.
So
game.
I took a big spread. And then it was Seahawks money line, Packers money line, dude. And I was like, the only thing we need to get out of this is the Bills, because the Chiefs were fucking turning up. I was like, the only thing we need to get out of this right now is the Bills. The Bills pull it out. They cover the 7. We march on to the Seahawks,
which was so smart.
We're obliterated at this bar at this point. Like, we started drinking at 11:30.
So hammered.
The Seahawks game is coming down to a field goal.
I didn't even get to fucking watch it. I was so blacked out.
Dude, yeah. So you might have bounced at the bar. I don't know where you were at.
No, I'm at the bar. I got my head in my hands at the bar. I can't even look up because I'm so drunk. But I'm just listening to the surrounding noise of the Seahawks game because this is a crucial leg of the Surge 6 to go into Sunday Night Football. And I'm just like waiting for crowd reactions. And like Chelly's whispering in my ear, like, bro, they're about to kick a field goal. And he's like, they made it. I'm like, literally, I'm just like, and then he's
lifts his head up for 1 second.
They fake banged. He fake banged. He missed it. I'm like, Chelly, what the fuck, dude? I can't even fucking look up. I can't even look up to see whether or not the field goal went in or not. But we went to OT. Did he miss that field goal?
Dude, he made the field goal.
There was a missed field goal.
I'm gonna be honest. This is how drunk we were. I don't remember a missed field goal. Hold on. I have a video. I just want to make sure if it was overtime. I was not aware of the circumstance of what I was watching.
I think he missed a field goal to go.
Oh my God, they were in overtime. Wow.
Yeah, no, that game ended in OT.
We were obliterated.
Yeah.
Wow, that was overtime. So I was sitting there while you were doing that. I was sitting there with a bunch of guys that were at the bar with us, double barreling margaritas, being like, this is for all the coin. This is for all the coin. And I'm like filming it. I like put the margaritas down, almost like dropped one. I'm like filming it, like one eye closed, like trying to make sure I have like a good, like whatever. Bucketed the field goal, dude. I was going nuts. Like literally I was going insane. I was like, let's go. It's on the Packers. Like couldn't be more confident, dude. Couldn't be more confident that it went down to Packers. I literally looked at 3 kids I was with. I was like, yo, I just hit a parlay.
Jesus.
I was like, yo, I just hit a parlay. So now I'm like celebrating. So I'm like already obliterated. Now I'm like celebrating, just like deleting drinks like as quickly as possible. The event ends, great event. And then Chelly's like, yo, let's go to another bar. And I was like, yeah, I mean, we got to go to another bar. I got to watch a Packers game. We're like sitting in this bar. I'm a little distracted. Things are not going to plan. But let's rewind. We get to the bar. I want to rewind to this because this was crazy. This will be the last thing. Then we'll talk about the Packers game. We get to the bar, and Trent is like, "Yo, I think I cooked a Super Goats entry."
Oh my god!
He was like, "Yo, I think I cooked a Super Goats entry," and I was like, "All right, well, you need to hand feed me it on a platter right now."
So I spoon feed Mikey this super surgical 6-leg Prize Picks entry that I just got in the lab and cooked up. And meat on table, if anything sells, I can charge it to the game.
And when we say lab, though, normally it's like a bit like he actually had a lab coat on. I was watching him lab and like he wasn't speaking to us. Like he was just.
Yeah. I was locked in. There were system plays in there, taking running backs against the Chargers, bullshit defense. I got, matchups that I really liked. 6-legger. I put $400 on it. And I'm like telling Mikey about it. And so he's like, all right, spoon feed it to me. So I give it to him. He puts it in. He types in $800, submit. And I'm like, no! And thank God it didn't let him place it because it was like to win way too much coin. And it didn't let him place it, so he cut it in half, put $400 on it, and he locked it down. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Dude, I was ready to just let it ride. Like, I was like, this will make or break my weekend. Like, I'm ready to put $800 on 6 guys to do their jobs.
Dude, and it should have hit. And you know what's terrible?
Well, dude, list the legs. Because the legs were... The only reason I also wanted to put 800 on it is I was like, yo, this is possibly one of the best entries I've looked at to the point where there's not one where I'm like, yo, that's not hitting.
Yeah. So it was Latavius Murray rush yards, DK.
Which was so high, by the way.
So high. He doubled it. It was like 52. He had like 110.
Which already I was like, all right, our meat's on the table if we're taking Latavius.
I couldn't decide between Kenneth Walker or DK Metcalf, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to go DK Metcalf here, which was just the bag fumble of the year.
But no, narrative though, because Geno was going to set the single season pass.
Which he did.
Record.
Which he fucking
Not
did.
fucking DK.
And DK still didn't go over. He was
DK.
locked up by Ramsey all game, which we should have known.
Yeah, we should have known.
We should have known that. Russell Wilson, the first time we let him cook all year.
My God.
Over 1.5 TDs.
Like who
over.
When you put that in, I was like, yo, are you really going to let Russ cook? And you were like, this is the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, there is just no way this is missing now.
Crazy. And then like Christian Watson receiving yards.
Jamal
Williams touchdown. And dude got 2. It was just so surgical.
You were 8 feet deep.
Yeah. 5 of 6. DK sold it. It was always Kenneth Walker, which I had in there at first. So pissed. However, I wasn't even able to watch the ending of the Seahawks game. I was watching the whole Seahawks game. But once it got to OT, I was done. I couldn't watch any more football. I was way too drunk, and thank God someone took me home. So
but dude, it was so funny though because you left the bar and like the Super Goats was like still alive because we were in overtime.
And people there were sweating.
Dude, I had so many kids coming up being like, "Did you ride the Super Goats? Because we're on the last leg." And I was like, "Holy shit, we're on the last leg!" Like trying to like see it's like all greened out on my screen. I was like, "Holy shit, we might actually do this." I was like in the back of my head, I got that. We could be heroes.
So I go home and I pass out within a matter of seconds. Without any idea what happened in the Seahawks game. I'm asleep till like 8:30. I wake up and like my girlfriend's next to me and I'm like, did the Seahawks win? And she's like, the Hawks won. I'm like, shut the fuck up. What time is it? Oh shit, it's 8:30. Like the late night game's gotta be over.
The guys are
please. No. The fucking Lions beat the Pack. Piss.
In Lambeau.
In piss, dude. In Lambeau. So that was one way to wake up.
Dude, I was making videos all day. I was like, this is the parlay. First 2 legs cashed. I was like, we move on. Then the Seahawks hit. And I was like, it's down to the Packers in Lambeau. Minus 250. Jamal Williams masterclass, 2 touchdowns. Like, all right, like. And then Aaron Rodgers is keeping his jersey, being like, there's just certain jerseys you want to keep. It's like, if that was your last game in fucking the Green Bay uniform, like, you are a bozo, dude.
Dude, and I actually liked the Lions all week, and I was getting told by people on my stream, Packers are winning.
Well, the line also moved from 4 to 4.5 to 5.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not going to fade my goats, and, like, people are throwing fat units on this, and I don't really have that much confidence in the Lions.
Because it got down to your goat whale, too. We both had last leg Packers, dude.
Speaking of the goat whale, Derrick fucking Henry, man.
Dead. No, it's dead.
How did he not find the end zone in week 18, dude? Bullshit.
Dude, I remember just looking at my phone and just seeing you tweet, he ain't scoring. It was a minute into the game.
I just knew he wasn't scoring, bro. That game was fucked up.
No, that game was ass.
Yeah.
A crazy NFL slate, and I actually thought it was going to be one of the worst yet. It actually ended up being like pretty good, like great games all around.
It was a good one.
The playoffs are going to be crazy.
Yeah.
But so we have a wild Sunday. Chelly takes home a dude from the bar. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he did go home.
I'm just kidding. No, he did go home with a guy. But it wasn't like that. All right,
no,
everybody
he
relax.
was a homie.
No, it was a homie. This kid just needed somewhere to sleep, so he let him sleep. Actually, the kid slept in my bed, so I was like homeless for the night. But so come off the NFL slate, heartbreak, wake up in the morning. I don't know where anyone is.
Same.
Everyone's deathly hungover.
Yeah.
Only thing on my mind is the Frogs are covering 13.
The Frogs are going to cover 13.5. The vibes are so high. We're happy to be there, obviously. I have confidence going into this game, lots of confidence in the Frogs, team of destiny. I mean, it's been an unbelievable year. And after Michigan the week before, it's like you never know this team. So I was going in bricked up, ready to go. I got great seats, and energy was so high. SoFi was crazy. We went and got beers before the game. Vibes were high. We're nuking prize picks and shit, bro.
Dude.
But I knew, bro, right when we lost the coin toss that we were going to receive, which we're going to punt. We always fucking punt in our first drive. And they're going to get the ball, and they're going to come and drive, and it's GG's. And that's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. I there wasn't even a pulse. There was never you
heard it here first.
That's false. The one pulse we had, it was 10-0, and a loose coverage by the Frogs, and Darius Davis is wide open for like a 60-yard gain to get into the red zone. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Here's our magic. Duggan runs it in. It's 10-7. We got a ball game, and I'm bricked up. And that was the last pulse there ever was in the 2023 National Championship game.
Yeah, and, little different of experiences. You rolled into your seats around TCU guys. We come into the stadium. I buy some TCU merch. It's like, not that I don't care about the school, but it was like, I have a dog in the race, but it was like, for the experience, like I'll buy some TCU shit. We were in the heart of the Georgia fan section in the nosebleeds, which is the hardcore fans that are like, we're going to drive from Atlanta to fucking California for this game, sit in the nosebleeds and drive home. Literally, I felt like I was going to get shot. Like when Georgia got a punt on that first drive, when TCU punted, this girl turned around. That was next to her boyfriend. She had to be like mid-20s. Turned around and went, "That's right, you bitch ass." And I was like, yeah, I literally looked at Chelly and I was like, yo, we're going to find standing room. I'm not sitting up here the whole game. Like, I was like, I'm not doing it, dude. Like, I refuse to sit in the heart of Atlanta at this goddamn game. Like, I couldn't do it. So we ended up moving. Like, I was standing like the whole game, like near some like TCU people. So like that was chill. But dude, I mean, the SEC is just so different, dude.
It just looked like varsity versus freshman team. And obviously TCU being the fucking freshman team. It was really, really tough to watch. I mean, there were times where TCU's wide receivers were getting open, and Duggan just simply wasn't making the plays.
And it was this. Let's not get it twisted. The stadium was so loud. The moment was probably so big.
Yeah.
And he underthrew a bunch. I also felt like the play calling was a little odd. They were, for the first time ever, it was like, let's just throw screens. And it was like he was throwing 2 screens a set.
As someone who literally watched every fucking TCU game all season long, those types of play calls like pissed me off. It'd be like 2nd and 12 when we're throwing a bubble screen.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now it's 3rd and 11. Great.
And not to mention, you're not throwing the screen to like a great guy because Kendra Miller's out.
Yeah.
The running game couldn't get anything going. And you know what? I think Georgia did a great job of just bringing the pressure. All they did was speed Max's clock up. And Michigan didn't do a great job of that. Georgia put on a masterclass of, we're just going to bring pressure and speed his clock up. And that's why he was making mistakes.
Yeah.
It was drop back 1 step forward. I have to get this ball out.
Yeah.
This guy's wide open. Like, they were running great routes.
Yeah.
And they were like, there was a couple times where it'd be 3rd and long and TCU struggles in 3rd and long, he'd have a wide open wide receiver. He'd be like, dude, that's first down and maybe 15 yards on top of it. And it's underthrown or it's overthrown.
Couldn't get it out.
But, I mean, and I'll say it, dude. Stetson Bennett, fucking give it up, dude. Like, go to the NFL. Like, I get it. Like, I get he took the long way, like, whatever. Dude, the man is 25 years old. Lamar Jackson has as many years in the NFL as this guy does in college. Like, that is insane to me.
Absurd.
Like, dude, you got to hang him up at some point. And if you don't think seniority helps in college sports, he's playing 19-year-olds.
Yeah.
As a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, there's a certain point where skill and experience, like, experience just playing at a certain level passes, like, your skill ability. And, like, when you have that many years at the college level of looking at defenses and playing against 19-year-olds, obviously he's going to dice you. So taking nothing away from Stetson, he won the game. He balled out. But, like, the people that are being like, Stetson Bennett is an all-time great. Like, dude, you got, like, he's 25 years old playing against a quarterback that's 21.
Facts.
Like, that's so different, dude.
Dude, none of the coins came home, man. I lost so much fucking
No, dude, I was sitting there drowning in picks.
Drowning.
Like, the prize
Goats.
picks were selling.
Every prize picks fucking sold. I mean, there were only a few. Like, Stetson went over yards. Brock Bowers was hitting the first quarter over yards. Dude was grubbing. D. Moncardo, actually, for TCU running back, actually went over his yards. Quentin Johnson, 3 yards. 3 yards.
He just wasn't getting the ball thrown to him, dude. It was tough.
It was tough. He had one of the first catches of the game, and I'm like, oh, yes, he's going to fucking grub, dude. That was it.
But even that first drive, like, I kind of felt the same way. One, sitting in the Georgia fan section, I'm sure attributed to it. But, dude, the 3 play calls. It was like sack, 4-yard loss, sack. Or like a missed throw, sack, 4-yard loss on a run. And I was like, dude, this Georgia defense
It's going to be a long game.
Feast, dude.
I wish it wasn't as bad as it was. I mean, obviously, but
no, I mean,
65 to 7. 65, like, that hurt. I'm sitting there in the fourth quarter. We're on one last drive, and I'm just looking at the score. I'm just like, dude, like, we're going to be so disrespected. Like, everyone's going to forget about everything this team has done all year because of this bullshit.
Dude, and I tweeted out like a bit when they were down 14-7 or not when they were down like 17. Me. No, not
call the Ubers?
No, not just that. Yeah, I texted you, should we call the Ubers? But then I went on Twitter when it was like literally only like 17-7, I think. And I was like, yo, TCU plus 50.5 might be a good look. They didn't even cover 50.5. And the halftime line was 28.5. And I literally like looked at Chelly. Oh no, I looked at Krabs because Krabs came down and he was like, yo, what do you think the halftime line is? And I was like, dude, it's got to be like 35. Like, there's no way. Like, this is just like TCU can't even tie their shoes right now on offense. And he was like, dude, it's 28.5. And I literally in my head was like, there's no way someone out there is going to lay Georgia minus 28.5. Like, you know, dude, you could have put the house on 28.5.
And no sweat.
And, dude, not sweat.
Not a single sweat.
Not sweat, dude.
Because Georgia's getting the ball at half, and you know they're going to fucking score. And that's why I was like, dude, if we lose the coin toss, it's already like kind of GG.
Dude, and
it's already kind of like the coin toss.
You have to clip that. That is insane, dude. That is insane.
We lose that coin toss, it's fucking GG's.
I don't disagree with you because, to be totally honest, I think the game changes drastically if TCU's defense gets the first look and Max gets a second to relax.
Yeah.
Because coming out there, the Georgia fan section just busting and then having a sack for them to go crazy and let the defense be like, oh, dude, we're fucking set. Instead of having like the TCU defense maybe put on a display, get a stop. But dude, the thing that pissed me off the most was Sonny Dykes. I don't know if it was Sonny Dykes, defensive coordinator, or whatever it was, allowing Stetson Bennett to run the way he did. Mm-hmm. Dude, he had 2 rushes. His first 2 rushes, he had 38 yards. You can't let that happen. And the touchdown was such a designated fucking Stetson Bennett run. You knew it was coming, dude. When he has such a long drag on those play actions when it's like, all right, it's his call to run it. And it was like so designed. Dude, it was like a 15-yard run.
Untouched.
Like and it felt like the whole game never spied him.
Never.
2 rushes for 32 yards, dude. Like, that's unbelievable. Like, you can't let him do that.
No.
So I was like, that pissed me off.
Everyone was talking about Duggan's rush yards. it was always his Stetson Bennett rush.
Dude, Stetson Bennett's rush yards was the freest thing on the board.
Hitting the first fucking drive of the game. And Duggan was out there running for his life, but it was the wrong way.
Running for his life, dude.
Yeah.
And like the one thing we talked about too in the morning that I talked to Chelly was, it's got to be so disappointing when you're sitting there on like that TCU team as maybe a bubble guy for the draft, and you're like, all right, there is not a single football fan, coach, player in the world right now that's not watching this game. And you have that performance. And it's like, damn. Like
So
that might have been my shot to be like undrafted to drafted or fourth round to second round. Like those Georgia kids boosted their draft stock like you've never seen before.
I mean, there was like 8 different running backs getting involved. And of course, the one that I needed in prize picks ain't doing shit.
Undy.
Yeah, soared under. I think there was I think 4 or 5 running backs involved in total. And I think the 3 that played the least all season had probably the highest fantasy scores.
And I don't know what hurt worse, sitting there with the TCU plus 13.5 ticket in my pocket watching a 60-point blowout, or leaving early in the third quarter thinking we're going to beat traffic and having to walk 2 miles in the rain to get an Uber and literally dripping in water getting back to the hotel being like, I have no clothes to wear.
Drowning, dude, that's the definition of drowning in piss. Have you ever been sitting in the pouring rain waiting for an Uber with a money line ticket in your pocket that just lost by 60? No, I bet you haven't. That shit sucked. That was a humble or a rude awakening. And it definitely was just like, this is a humbling.
We just got to be better.
We got to be better.
But it was never not, though. Like, it was always, I walked into Krabs' room in the morning, and I'm not going to lie, I did look at him, and I was like, I think Georgia's going to win this game by a lot. Because the line didn't move at all, and there was 77% of the money on TCU, and they boosted TCU, they boosted Max Duggan, and I was just like, this might go so bad, dude. Like, I literally looked at Krabs, and I was like, this might go so bad.
Yeah, and it did.
And it went. And I'm not trying to sound like LeBron. Like, I was like, they might lose 65-7. But I looked at him and I was like, dude, like, I actually don't think Georgia minus 12.5 is a bad bet. And I thought Georgia minus 12.5 was a bad bet since the fucking line came out.
Same. I was like, that's so disrespectful.
Dude, wildly disrespectful.
Nah, that shit was free as fuck.
Like, you couldn't have made it up.
That shit was free
as you said, you weren't sweating. You didn't sweat even at the coin toss.
Yeah. There was. I mean, at least it was that, I would have way rather have had a fucking movie of a game. Unfortunately, it just wasn't ever even close to that.
Yeah, I mean, you would have rather have lost by like 7 and have it been like a crazy game.
Yeah.
But I do think you should take a minute, look at the camera, thank TCU for this season.
Of course. I mean, what TCU did this season is unbelievable. We're on the map. I mean, I saw a stat. It was, of media exposure of TCU since they made the Natty, $2.5 billion of media exposure.
I saw that too.
For the program, which is going to change the program forever. And we deserve it. I mean, TCU, they play with heart. We've come such a long way, such a little school in Fort Worth. And I'm so proud of, what we were able to accomplish this season. It was so fun riding the Frogs. Everybody was hopping on the Frogs wagon all year. And it was a team of destiny. They really were. They had no business being in the freaking national championship. Max Duggan, forever a Fort Worth legend. And as a TCU alumni, I'm so proud of what the boys were able to accomplish. And unfortunately, it didn't go our way. But I know damn well we're going to be back because we're getting all these transfers and shit, bro.
Dude, you already have a crazy class coming.
Don't sleep on them Frogs. Just because we got absolutely bitched and disrespected in the Natty doesn't mean we ain't coming back.
And it always and forever will be Hammy the Froggies.
Hammy the Froggies, baby. What a story and what a journey.
Unbelievable. Round of applause for Max Duggan. You're a go, dude.
Goated.
All right, but we got a weird Wednesday slate. The episode drops today. I wanted to talk a couple games you like, couple games I like, maybe a little prize picks entry, and then wrap it up, get these people on their way. But it's Weird Wednesday. You literally walked in studio today, and you said, I already have nukes for this Chell board, so talk me through the nukes.
It's Wagon Wednesday. You got to trust your wagons, and we got a system POD on the ice. The Anaheim Ducks are playing. And you know what that means? Whoever they're playing against, you take their, whoever you want on the teams over shots on goal. You got to be strategic with who you take, though. I mean, you could take their best player. They're playing the Oilers today, which obviously best player is going to be Connor
Do I put my
McDavid.
little bitch boy boots on?
Yeah, your little bitch boy. The Oilers make him put his bitch boy boots on. But the reason for this system play is because the Ducks allow so many shots on goal. One of the highest, allowed SOGs in the league. Going up against the Oilers, who just rip puck. So you can take McDavid, you can take Draisaitl. Me personally, I like Zach Hyman. I'm going Zach Hyman over 3.5 shots on goal. That's one of my favorite squares of the day today.
See, my immediate thought was I'd like to take Nugent Hopkins.
I also have coinage on Nugent Hopkins. Still at 2.
2 shots, dude.
2 shots.
Yeah, I love that.
I already nuked that.
I actually love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm shocked it hasn't been bumped yet.
Oilers -1.5.
I like that as well.
I wouldn't hate it.
-110?
So is that the nuke we got? Yeah.
No, I love Zach Hyman over 3.5 shots. I have a rack on that to get. And also, real quick, the coins are made with 2-leggers on Prize Picks. I haven't seen green since 2022. And after the TCU game, I'm down unbelievable amounts of units, and I need some coins back. So I go to my GOATs. I go talk to some college b-ball guys, Krabs and Javon, talk to Chelly and Fruity, get some PP squares.
Never talks to me. I want that to go. I want that to go heard. The fact that he just was like, talk to some goats.
No.
Everyone but I. But yeah, go ahead.
You've been hitting.
No,
I'm respecting your success rate with your 2-leggers.
No, go ahead.
But I just asked for some plays. I needed some coin back, and I was like, you know what? Stop the bullshit, dude. Stop reaching for 6-leggers, 5-leggers, even 4-leggers, dude. Just try and see some green. So I saw some green, asked for some plays, got some, nuked 2-leggers on my 8-hour flight, and all of them hit.
Dude, and I'm going to say something right now that I need everyone to listen to that is a sports bettor. If you're using Prize Picks, the money is made on 2-leggers, and then you're going to hate what I'm about to say, but 4-team flexes. That is how I've built an unbelievable bankroll in Prize Picks. All right, don't look at the power plays and be like, this is how I'm bringing the coins home. Go to a 4-team flex, pick your 4 goats, and if you're good at it, I could go the whole week and hit a 4-team flex every day. Because somebody will sell, but I know I've got 4 goats that I trust. One of them might have an off day, but I know 4 of them might come through. Like, that is how you stack coin in these apps.
Yeah.
Is 2-team nuke jobs, pick 2, and ride or die with them. Make a 4-team flex, like lose a little bit of the payout. Take advantage of that feature on the app that's not offered anywhere else. And then sprinkle a 6-teamer for the bit.
So when you flex a 4-legger, it goes from a 10x to a 5x if you hit all 4.
Mm-hmm.
But if you lose 1, you get 2x, which is like a 2-legger.
Yeah.
Which is you're making profit.
Which you're making profit.
And you can lose 1.
Or no, it might be 2.5 or something like that.
Oh.
I think it's a little bit more than 2.
Okay.
Because if I look at this right now.
Dude, I'm in the business of wanting to make coin. As fun as it is making content of me losing picks.
So 2 out of 2 is 3x.
2 out of 2 is 3x.
It's 3x. And then if I hit, let me go to the 4-team I hit. Okay. The 4-team flex I hit is 1.5 times. So whatever. But if I put 150, I win 225. So like I will take that every day of the week.
Yeah, you're not losing coin.
No.
And I'm like, yeah, surgical super goats, like sure, love doing that. But it gets to a point where it fucking gets old because I'm not winning coin, And that's how I built up such a fat bankroll during the summer where I won like 60 fucking K because I was building bankroll bobbers.
Bankroll bobbers. With
2-leggers. And then once I had a bankroll to be able to throw stupid shit, I was actually hitting stupid shit. So it was building bankrolls plus getting lucky with stupid shit hitting. But it starts with building the bankrolls, and it starts with the 2 legs on Prize Picks and the straight bets on the books. Oh
my God, yeah.
For sure. I've donated so much coin.
Keep it simple. Let's just keep it simple in 2023.
Please.
Keeping it simple tonight is the Oilers -1.5 and Capitals money line.
I love
I'm
that.
just going to say it right now.
Caps play the Preds.
The Flyers.
Oh, fuck the Flyers.
You're off the Flyers?
No, I'm down. I'm like, fuck the Flyers.
Also, the Leafs play the Preds.
Oh,
so
shit, dude.
Might be the plus tricky Preds. All right, but there's a couple college basketball games I just want to run through quick because, if you're watching this episode.
Shots.
Yeah, Zach Hyman shots. Oh, here's a 2-legger. Zach Hyman shots and Isaiah Wong more than 16.5 points. They're playing Boston College. He's been selling the point props the last 3 games. They're -10 I think they're going into Boston College.
This is a system play because you were 3 or 4 on an entry the other day, right? And this fucker sold it. So the system is to take the guy who sold.
Explain that really quick.
This is a system. If you're on Prize Picks and some dude loses your entry by 1 leg, automatic he's going over the next game. So don't forget to take him. It's gonna feel shitty.
Auto.
You're not gonna want to do it because you literally cost you coin. You have bad juju and bad vibes from it. He's going over. All right. It's happened to me the last month and a half, and I've stayed true to riding that system and actually locking it in with something, and it always hits, and it's so frustrating, but it does.
Let's go.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, the system plays Isaiah Wong. That's the 2-team sneak nuke presented by Prize Picks. We've got a full college basketball slate. I'm going to be posting picks everywhere. I'm sure you're going to be posting picks everywhere. Make sure you guys tune into the Surgical stream today on the Book It Sports Twitch channel. If you have plays today or if you just want to rip Trent for having a TCU money line in his pocket, it's on from what times?
1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Central Time.
So make sure you guys tap in today. Check it out. Come on and give your picks. Say what's up. Definitely clown him for TCU a little bit. I'm gonna stop by and give my Prize Picks entry for the day. But yeah, I mean, we got a full slate ahead. You have the sneak nuke presented by Prize Picks. You have our hockey team nuke. I'm gonna be honest with you, Alabama, Arkansas. You're gonna have to go to my pages to see what I'm taking in that game. But it's gonna get dirty.
I'm gonna have to see.
It's gonna get dirty.
No more college football, man.
No more college football. R.I.P. Great season, though.
Great season.
Maybe we'll do like a year in review next episode, talk about college football a little bit.
Yeah.
But this has been another episode of TFM Bets. Appreciate you guys for listening. As always, make sure you follow the socials everywhere, and we will see you next episode.
We'll be seeing.